Thanks to Lenovo Legion and Intel for sponsoring this video. You ever see a laptop and think, that's not a computer, that's a power move. The Lenovo Legion Pro 7i does not whisper performance subtly at you. It screams it while glowing at the seams and calculating your KD ratio like it's training for some esports championship. And I have a lot of stuff to tell you about these laptops behind me. But before I do any of that, I want to tell you how you can win $500. It is near and dear to my heart. It's a way that I can give back to the audience that has given me a life and a career. Made it super easy. Tell me the first game that you play on your brand new Lenovo. Give the video a thumbs up, leave your name in the comments, or if I click on your link, make sure there's a way to contact you on your YouTube page. Let it run for 10 days, open to anyone in the world. All right, so back to the computers. It's like Lenovo sat down. They're like, let's take like desktop grade power, cram it into the chassis of a large-ish laptop, and make sure it looks like it belongs as like a live action prop in a cyberpunk movie. And then somebody else, that's how it goes in my head, chimed in and was like, cool, that sounds good, but give it AI, lighting, and a cooling system people haven't seen before. And I think they've done that with the Pro 7i. Meanwhile, the Pro 5i, it's more grounded sibling. It's a tad more restrained, a lot more affordable, but still showing up like it's got something to prove. It's not trying to win drag races, but it's absolutely in the race. So here's what I decided to do as I was testing these out. I wanted to live with both, not just like test them and give you guys benchmarks, because I don't think benchmarks don't matter, who cares? I think what matters is how you actually use these things. So work, game, edit, repeat. So, and that's when things got interesting. So I don't have a gaming room at home. I don't have an office. I don't even have a real desk. My setup is at the end of a dining room table. I've been taken over by my kids home from summer break and the chaos that goes with that. I have Legos in different stages of being built. It's not glamorous, but it is real when your laptop has to handle all of that. It's got to handle small space, but also be able to give me the power that I need. So I want to start with the Legion Pro 7i. This is the one you buy if you want absolutely everything. With the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor, it is the multitasking powerhouse. It's for creators who regularly edit in 4K or even 8K videos, photographers working with massive RAW files, and probably most importantly, gamers who want to crank out every setting to ultra without blinking, streamers who need CPU and GPU headroom at the same time, and so for people looking to replace a desktop, maybe because they need to move around or they don't want to buy a huge rig but still want that kind of power. It's also for multitaskers who leave Premiere Pro open while batch exporting files, playing music, running OBS in the background, and so on open 200 Chrome tabs without the fans screaming. If that sounds like you, or any part of that sounds like you want a laptop that laughs at heavy workflows, that laughs at FPS, and this is that machine. And the one I've got is not even maxed out. I've got the RTX 5070 Ti, Intel Core Ultra 9, 275HX processor, a measly 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, 2 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 SSD, but you can spec that bad boy much higher, going up to a 5090, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and Gen 5 SSDs, which puts this up there with some of the most powerful laptops you can buy off the shelf. It doesn't get a lot of attention. I think it's pretty cool. It supports advanced Optimus, so if you use an iGPU, you can actually switch without having to reboot to discrete GPU. That's awesome. Huge for battery life and flexibility. It's also a little bit on the heavy side. It's serious. It's built like a tank, but does move like a sports car. So first thing I did, I dumped a full 4K DaVinci timeline onto it, multiple effects, transitions, and layers. It played it back so smoothly. No stutter, no spin up, and I wasn't even plugged in. And then I did my favorite thing, and I loaded up Spider-Man 2. Ultra settings, ray tracing's on, DLSS off, and it did not flinch. Spider-Man might not be your game, it's kind of what I'm working through again, but any game you are playing on here, any AAA title, this thing will absolutely handle. And what you're looking at while you're playing your game is an OLED display that was next level. It was fast and color accurate, 100% DCI P3, VISA certified, with a 0.5 millisecond response time. Games were crazy smooth. I was grading a short video on the screen and being able to trust the color accuracy without second guessing, and that was a giant deal. I think it goes under the radar, but I think Lenovo has some of the best displays in the industry, and they are showing it here. Build quality is also excellent. No flex in the chassis. Solid hinge opens with one hand, which you don't see all that often. Also a premium matte finish that looks clean when it is not covered in fingerprints, and it will be relatively soon. The entire thing feels like it was built to last, not just look good in like product shots. Lenovo changed up the cooling this year too. It's actually why they moved the ports. If you'll notice, ain't no ports on the back. They needed that space for airflow, and it does work. So the Pro 7i has this big old vapor chamber and an integrated hyper chamber. So cool air rises from the bottom of the CPU and GPU, cooling the hot air before forcing it out the back. The biggest way you can see this though is in the keyboard. They're playing for like an hour. You cannot fry an egg on the keyboard. It actually feels cool, especially on the edges, which is the first time I've been able to experience something like that while playing games for a while. The fans here are smarter too. They don't spin like crazy all the time. There's AI doing AI things in the background to keep it quiet and consistent. Back to the ports, I know it's gonna be an issue for some now that IO's not on the back. They did push them on the side towards the front, which I thought was nice. So your cables, your mouse, your headset, they're all there. They're a little closer though than I would like. I do miss the rear ports, if I'm being honest. It felt a little cleaner. Not a deal breaker, and I get why they did it, but definitely something to know, especially if you've got limited amount of space, we got things plugged in on the side, it can get pretty big. Also, while you are plugging this thing, be aware that the power brick is heavy and gigantic, but is going to enable you to access sort of the full power of the machine. All right, so Legion Pro 7i was killing it, and then something unexpected happened. One night I grabbed the Legion Pro 5i without thinking, just to test it, edit a clip, and then I was gonna move on. And I did it again the next night. And the night after that, it's kind of when I realized this wasn't just a backup computer for me. It was kind of becoming my go-to. The Legion Pro 5i that I've been testing is no slouch. Intel Core Ultra 9, 275HX processor, 32 gigs of RAM, that same 2TB PCIe Gen 4, and the RTX 5070. Same Optimus support, same OLED panel, just at 165 Hz instead of 240. And thanks to that Intel Core Ultra 9 processor here, it's unlocking the ultra gaming performance with really fast, smooth gameplay. Side by side, still sharp, still fast, still buttery smooth. Legion Pro 5i though, this is for people who still need serious power, but want it at the right price. It's not dramatically smaller or lighter than the Pro 7i. That's probably the point. You're getting nearly the same footprint, nearly the same performance in most everyday tasks, but at a price, I think that makes it make just way more sense. It's a sweet spot. It's like the powerful enough machine that doesn't cost desktop money. If you are a gamer or a content creator who edits in 4K but doesn't need to churn out renders every day, you're playing games but you want your games to be on high settings and smooth frame rates, but you don't need a 5090. Like, this is the one. It's great for students in creative fields, remote workers who want to game after hours, or anyone who just wants a serious laptop without spending overkill money. And if you need more headroom, you can actually spec it up to 64 gigabytes RAM, 2 terabytes of storage, even the RTX 5070 Ti, though you're not limited to like mid-range, you've got options if you want to push it. So during the day, I'm usually using the Pro 5i for everything from editing thumbnails and reviewing footage, sort of hopping into video calls, sometimes all at once, with a few sort of Chrome tabs and Discord running in the background. I've had Notion, Photoshop, YouTube, a bunch of Chrome tabs open while downloading a game. The Pro 5i did not blink. That's not benchmark material here. That's just like my Tuesday. On the next day, a Wednesday, copied a 100 gigabyte folder to the Pro 5's SSD and it transferred in seconds. And that's the kind of speed that makes a difference when you're working late and trying just to wrap up and go to bed. One night my kids were watching Netflix in the same room. I popped on Spider-Man 2 with headphones, set it to high, and did not hear the fans kick up. That kind of thermal control matters when you're sharing space. At least to me. Beyond sort of raw performance, Lenovo also added a bunch of AI features that are actually, I think, useful. One I did not expect to like was one called Game Clip Master. If you do a lot of streaming or trying to build your name online as a streamer, it's gonna take the whole stream and it's gonna cut into clips automatically for you in the background. With either laptop, and just like the Pro 7i, build quality here is really solid. Matte chassis, no creaks, tight display hinge, enough structure to make it feel reliable. It's not flashy, but it doesn't feel cheap either. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's functional in probably the best way possible. The Legion Pro 7i wins if you want everything. If this is your main machine, if you edit 4K regularly, play demanding games at max settings, need that extra GPU headroom, it's absolutely worth it. Legion Pro 5i, finding out it's more for people like me. People who still do all the stuff, just not all at once and all the time. People who need performance, but also need their laptop to disappear when like dinner hits the table. They also both support user RAM and SSD upgrades, which is awesome. And they both run quiet when you want them to. They both charge fast, but only give you full performance when plugged into a wall. Battery life is decent enough if you're browsing, but not great for pushing the GPU. But both these machines are great for creatives and everyday use. I do want to be like crystal clear. These are gaming laptops built for gamers by people who clearly understood the assignment. The Pro 7i is for the gamer who like really just wants everything. Raw power, zero compromise, just generally the confidence that the frame rates will never hold them back. It's kind of like it's a player chasing every competitive advantage who wants to max out every setting without having to think twice. The Pro 5i is for the gamer who still wants top tier performance, but also wants to be smart about value. They want to win, but not overspend while doing it. These laptops aren't gaming themed. They are gaming first, and everything else they can do is just a nice bonus. There are a couple things that I wish were here. I do wish that they had touchscreens. I do wish there's some sort of biometric login. And also I wish you're able to keep some ports in the back. None of those are a deal breaker. Might have just made the deal absolutely perfect. Both these computers feel finished. No weird software hiccups, no bloat overload, just clean builds, solid specs, and real-world reliability. And it's worth saying too, Lenovo clearly isn't trying to be just a computer company anymore. You can tell they're trying to be a place where gamers and enthusiasts can kind of get everything they need all in one ecosystem. So hardware, software, accessories, features that actually make sense. They're not just throwing specs at a wall. And with these Legions, it feels like they're building something bigger. So here's where I land. If you're a competitive gamer who needs kind of the edge over the competition, the Pro 7i is probably the one that's calling your name. If you're someone sort of climbing through the ranks, probably the Pro 5i is like the perfect compromise computer. Because in the end, you're not buying a laptop. I think you're buying a way to fit power into your real life. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to find. If this helped, hit the like button. That helps us. If you've got your own weird gaming setup, drop in the comments. I read every single one. I'll catch you guys in the next video.